Hello. The topic of today's video is Grandma Summer, which I don't even know if this is a thing in the real world or whether this just lives inside of my brain, but we're gonna find out together. I did not write an outline for this, we'll see how that goes, but let me explain. I don't know exactly when I heard the term Grandma Summer for the first time, but when I first came across the term and the concept, I think I saw it in a mood board or something. I thought it was a positive thing. The concept is sort of the following. It's an antidote to hot girl summer. It's not about going out to party, having lots of flings, doing stupid stuff, watching Netflix, living this fast-lived hedonistic lifestyle, I guess, but rather coming back to your homestead, baking, knitting, learning how to cook bone broth for 6 hours, not being in situationships. Quite a while ago, I saw this reel by a girl called Carlisle. She had some things to say about Grandma Summer.
I've decided we're having a mysterious Grandma Summer, because hot girl summer has only brought chaos to our society. Mysterious Grandma Summer is for the girls who are not a trad wife and not a girl boss, but a secret third thing. It's the total rejection of thong bikinis and butt scrunch leggings because what's really sexy is a little mystery. And the turning off and unsubscribing of things like the Call Her Daddy podcast that built an empire telling young girls their highest calling is sleeping with men who don't care if they live or die. As if that game is not quite literally gambling with your soul. Mysterious Grandma Summer is about protecting and educating the young women in our communities and not competing with them. It's writing down recipes, passing down traditions for the girls who are aging backwards by eating lots of collagen and gelatin.
When I saw this video, I thought Grandma Summer was something that I wanted to do because the video sort of puts it on this moral pedestal. It literally says if you're promiscuous, you're gambling your soul away, which is very dramatic, and I don't think we figured out this whole promiscuity thing. I thought I had it figured out. I was such a hater for so many years, but this is not the point of the video. This is another topic for another time. Grandma Summer, in its essence, is really doing stuff that seems too old for your age, at least in my opinion. It's doing stuff that no normal 20-year-old should be doing, is supposed to do, things that seem odd for any young person to be engaging in. And as I've mentioned, when I first came across this concept, I found it enticing. I thought it was something that I wanted to be part of. Why? As I've mentioned in my last video, there was a period of time for about 2 years where I had fallen victim to online aesthetics, mostly through mood boards and one Patreon blog. So I was very much into this whimsy girl persona, being prescribed a C-cure for my hysteria and such things. This old antique sepia colored aesthetic, buying baskets at the flea market so you can go out in the field and collect berries. And some of that stuff is true to my heart, and some of that stuff I find feminine and cute and nice, and I'm a fan of, but for me, it kind of started to crumble, the whole concept, all those concepts, all those personas and identities, when those people who did those mood boards started romanticizing German beer. And I thought, why? Kölsch. If you're German, you know what a Kölsch is. And that was very, very strange. I was like, that's just something that I can buy from the store if I walk out of my house, and there's no reason to romanticize that. It's just a drink, and it's very ridiculous. And in the same way, I think people could fall victim to Grandma Summer, which is why I'm not a fan of it. I don't think, apart from the fact that people are trying to make this an ideologically sound concept that is superior to just living your life, I don't think it's good to try to age yourself and do more so-called boring things. Again, I'm not sure if I'm the only person who's been noticing this in a very big way, but post-pandemic, I know we're tired of talking about it, but post-pandemic, people are staying inside more than ever. I'm well aware party culture is still alive, even if lots of clubs had to shut down because it's expensive to live, it's expensive to go to a club. People are still going out. I know they're still partying. They're still out on the streets. They're cornering. They're meeting friends. And if you Google it right now, there aren't 12 articles that you will find on Grandma's Summer. But I've come across it more than a dozen times online. So it might just be in my corner of the internet, but I still think it's important to talk about it. Maybe it's just because for the past 2 weeks I had a lot going on in my life, and I will share more about what kind of things happen or why they happened soon. But I don't want any of us to go out less or to engage in those grandma-ass hobbies. I'm saying this as someone who spent maybe like 5 years of my 20s just artificially aging myself by wearing clothes that no normal 20-year-old would just typically wear. I always try to be so serious, so minimalistic, just wear clean-cut clothes, and I think they did age me by a lot. And I was not having fun with my style, which I now have to do the arduous work of trying to find my style and experiment with things. And sometimes just buying a floral blouse will send me into a mental breakdown because it's so outside of what I formed my identity to be. Grandma Summer behaves in the same kind of way. You do not need to be a grandma before it's your time to be a grandma. There is a time to activity max, and I'm gonna say it is now. It is now. I already mentioned this in my video about radical optimism. If COVID stole any kind of time from you, like we all spent too much time inside during the pandemic, and now is not the time to spend more time inside doing wellness rituals, doing face massages, taking care of your body. There is a time and place to do all of that, to nurture yourself, but it's not during the fucking summer, okay? It'll be cold soon enough, and you'll be old soon enough. I don't want to scare you. Life can, happen slowly, meticulously, unfold in its own time. And I'm not saying you're gonna blink twice and you'll be 80 and then you'll have time to do Grandma Summer, but your time will come to do all that boring stuff, okay? Fuck Grandma Summer. You do not need to hang around like elderly people and pretend that you are a retired woman or man tending to your garden when there's other stuff that you could be doing. I want more young people to engage in activities that you cannot do at 80. Or maybe you can do them at 80. I don't like this image of being old and senile and I'm not capable of moving either. You could very well do activities in your 80s that young people in their 20s are doing. But doing it the other way around, I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. I don't want us to have a boring ass summer. And if you're not actively engaging in a Grandma Summer because you found the internet concept to be enticing, I think you should still be trying to get out of your house as much as possible. I cannot stress this enough. The past 2 weeks of me saying yes to things, of me shifting my energy, again, I will talk about this soon enough, has led to situations that I could have never dreamed of. It has given me back so much. It has enriched my life indefinitely. And I'm still trying to record those podcast episodes because there is a come down. If you've had an ecstatic weekend, you will still have to deal with doing the laundry, cleaning your apartment, doing food shopping, which to me are grandma summer activities, if you want. Those are boring and you still have to deal with those. They're not gone from your life. Those grandma boring ass activities will never be gone from your life. Again, I don't know if this is just happening in my bubble of the internet, but I have noticed a psychological shift in people who are no longer willing to be as spontaneous or as outgoing as they were before the pandemic. And I think it makes sense, right? We were all sort of traumatized by staying inside for so long. I think that was the case for most of us. In some countries, they didn't do that. But for most of us, we did have to stay inside for extended periods of time. And it messed us up. Being afraid that any other person any person on the street could infect you with a deadly virus is not good for your mental well-being. Even though I think the brain is quick to forget, and when the mask mandates fell, we were all so fucking happy to get on a bus, not having to put on anything on our face. And I think we forgot about those things. There's a part of our brain that didn't. Social anxiety is probably more prevalent than ever. And I don't want any of you to be going backwards. I want us all to be more adventurous. Because a wise woman once said, all adventurous women do. If reading is considered a grandma summer activity, you can do that. That's fine. Please read. I've been slacking off of my reading goal. It's been a disaster. But I want us to go outside and have fun. I want us to have a million flings if need be. We should all be doing more. We should not be doing less. We should be out on the streets doing stuff. Guys, do you get it? I don't want us to stay home and cook bone broth for 6 hours. I do not want us to all collectively go to Pilates class and drink a matcha afterwards, a slop matcha with mango puree in it. I just don't want us to follow the masses. Do you know what I mean? I hope you understood what I mean. Fuck Grandma Summer. Not under my watch. And I'll see you in the next one. I think I got a couple of topics left up my sleeve. We'll see. See you.